that out. Just a minute. Sorry about that, guys. And Ragu, thank you for letting us know the sound is bad.
I hope it is better now. Okay, now the camera is a bit crooked. It has to be straightened. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Raghu, for letting me know about the sound. Today we are talking about how do you know he or she is the one? And that's the topic of discussion today. Feel free, guys, to drop in your comments. It's a live chat and we will read your comments. How do you know he or she is the one? So if you're out there and you know signs of it being the right part or she or he being the right person, drop in the comments. We'll read your comments in time. Otherwise, my name is Winfred, and welcome to this channel where it's all about life on Friday. So today we are talking about life, how you know he or she is the one. Have you ever wondered if the person you're with is truly the one? Well, those are questions that everyone asks. And there seems to be very few answers to that. And I hope the camera person can adjust because the light is flashing back in my, I can see it here. I need it to go a bit low. It needs to be adjusted like this so that I don't see the vents. The vents are too high and then I see too much. I need to change it. Sorry guys about all that. I know it's time consuming. The camera person has been off and someone trying to help me now is a different one. I need it adjusted so that we can have a better picture. I think I'll have to do it myself. Hmm. I hope the picture gets better and it's not too low because I don't want it too low. I need it balanced out. Otherwise, we are talking about have you ever wondered if the person you're with is the right person? Sorry about that. It's taken some time, but we are getting there. Love isn't just feelings. It's also about compatibility, effort, and timing. And those are some of the things that we are going to be dealing with today. Key signs that they might be the one or they are not the ones. You know, those are the things that we are going to be talking about. How do you know he or she is the one? Yeah. So feel free to drop in the comments your signs that he or she is the one. It's a live chat and you can go ahead and drop in your comments. We'll be able to read them as and when we have time for that. Raghu, thank you so much for the alerts on the sound and you are amazing. And the topic of discussion today, just to recap, it's have you ever wondered if the person you're with is the one? Is truly the one that you should be with? Those questions arise to all of us, and we wonder, am I with the wrong person? Am I with the right person? Now, today, before you make that decision, those of you who have not yet made that decision, before you make that decision, yeah, you ask yourself, is this person the right one? So there are signs that this one is the right one or is not the right one. Now, just a brief, run through. Love isn't just feelings. It's also about compatibility, the effort, the timing. You meet people who love each other and you're like, oh my goodness, I wish I had that. Well, how you know that person is the one? It's what we are going to discuss today. How do you know the person you're with is or is not the one? Those of you who are dropping by for the very first time, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. And the topic of discussion is how do you know he or she is the one? Now, there are key signs that might be that show that someone is the one. And if you're looking to get someone, whether you're a girl and you're looking to know whether it's that right guy, or you are a man and you want to know whether that's the right girl, well, there are signs like effortless compatibility. You know, there are so many ways you can know he or she is the one. There are cultural ones, uh, cultural values that you can look at and know that this person is the one or is not. And that is taking it to the next level, going through families, because families normally do the setting of who should marry who or who should get married to. So there's the cultural opinions, there's the expert opinion, and there's this day to day kind of way of knowing this person that is in my life is the one. And we are going to start today with the cultural aspect. How do you know he or she is the one? We are going to go off with the culture. Did you know that different cultures have different ideas about the one? Lillian, good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, different cultures have different ways of knowing who is the one, and they look at different ways. The Western perspective is romance, love, and choice. Those are the Western bits of how you know that person is the one. If they are romantic, then you know that one is the one, or when there is love, or when you just choose and say this is the one. Yeah. But then the Eastern perspective, family and compatibility are very key. In Asian culture, marriage is seen as a union of families, not just individuals. So it's families. So you cannot be saying this one is the one when it's an issue of family members, elders who can decide that this one is the one for you. Some of them, it's business transactions. If we can work together in terms of business, then you can marry my daughter and my son can marry your daughter. So or my daughter can get married to your son. So there are different ways you can know that person is the one. In the African perspective, it's the community and longevity that counts. In the African community, believing that it takes a community to sustain a marriage is one of those things. So if you're going to run your marriage in the African perspective, well, it's that community. They decide which family are you from, where are they from, what do they do. It's not a question of he looks nice, he makes me happy, he's romantic. That is out of the way. It is the community. And in the European perspective, there is balance from romance and practicality. Some countries emphasize partnership, and those relationships really work. Yeah. Some countries emphasize partnership and equally leading to some of the most suitable relationships. This is true because there are countries where people consider themselves as partners. I mean, you pay the bills, I pay the rent. You pay rent, I pay the bills of gas and water. And then there's this one who looks at it this way. You take care of the education of the children, and I'll take care to the feeding of the house. And such marriages do work. So there are different ways you can know a person is the one, especially if they are helpful, they are that missing rib that helps you along the way. There are stories, many stories, but there is one where love marriage that worked. There is a couple who met at college, went through the ups and downs of life, but built their bond on friendship, and that relationship worked. Rogers, you're welcome. Yeah. I'm glad to see you, Rogers. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lilian, you're amazing. Raghu, you're amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in. And today the topic of discussion was suggested by Rogers, who said we talk about how do you know whether he or she is the one. And that is what we are discussing today, suggested by Rogers. And there's some topics that we can cover, whereby there's the culture setting and there's the expert opinion And also the normal setting where you meet, fall in love, like I was saying, there are love marriages that worked. A couple who met at college went through the ups and downs of life, but built their bond on friendship. And that kind of marriage worked for them. And again, there are those who had arranged marriages that thrived. They found love through shared values, whereby they all believe it's our parents who are supposed to connect us. If they put us together, then we should make it work. And there are those marriages that have been built based on patience and growth. I like the Asian culture where people, they get married to total strangers. And over time, you get to know about this person, then you fall in love with them, then you start liking them, and then you become patient with them because you don't know anything about them. You are patient. So there are those relationships. I'm looking at the culture one, yeah. Uh, but we have also to remember that there is no perfect one person. I know Rogers wants to hear that the perfect one has to have this or the other, but there is no perfect person. Uh, the takeaway is the one is the person who makes your life better, not just in the good times, but in challenging times. That is for the cultural aspect. Now, if we go back to the common way that we normally run relationships, guys, this is a live podcast. Go ahead, drop your comments. We'll be able to read them, and you can give your opinion on how do you know he or she is the one. Now, I said earlier that love isn't just feelings. It's also about compatibility, effort, and timing. The reason I said that is because they are key signs that they might be the one. He may be the one or she may be the one. An example is that effortless compatibility. When you feel at home with them, you share values and visions, future goals, align not just in short term attraction, yeah, but also long term. You feel you're comfortable with this person. Once they are there, you can talk to them about anything. You don't have to be who you're not. You don't have to hustle or struggle to impress. When there's that effortless compatibility, you get to know, surely this must be the right person. When you're a girl and you don't have to over stress on how to look perfect, so this guy can like you or notice you, he notices you anyway. He could be the one you know and if you're a guy and you see this girl, you feel like, when I'm around her, I don't have to act like I have money. I know Rogers is always saying, I don't have money, I'm broke. Well, this right one will not even see your wallet. She will know you're the one regardless of where you take her or how much you spend on her. An example, there is this couple that I was told about. They went out one time to a place. The man told her, can I take you out? And the girl said yes. And the man asked her, where can we go? And she said, I don't like to go to those expensive places. Let us go somewhere quiet where we can just enjoy a simple meal. And the man could not believe that a woman could suggest a cheap place for the first day out. And that to him ticked on all the boxes, and he knew that this must be the one because she wasn't looking to spend so much to prove that the man loved her. So there are signs that you can know. And if there's that effortless compatibility, you don't have to try so hard. You don't have to borrow that shirt and put it on so you can go to her and impress. I know you love her, but you are willing for her to love you for who you truly are. That is a clear sign that she or he is the one. I like to read comments. And Lillian says, arranged marriages are practiced in many in many cultures worldwide. Yes, they are performed by many cultures worldwide, and they still work. We may fail to make it work when we meet at school, and after some time you say he disappointed me. Then you separate or take different ways. But arranged ones, those people seem to stick it in there and hang in there for life, not for short time. So Lydian, you're right on that one. Like I said, the one way you can know that effortless compatibility, when you feel at home around them, you feel you can tell them anything. You don't have to hide that you actually also get hungry. You can eat and take down a whole plate. Have you been to dates and you see these girls or ladies that do not even want to finish up their food because the man will think I eat so much? I know of a lady who went out on a date and kept on going on many dates with this particular gentleman. But each time she would go, she would first take down some serious food so that by the time she goes out, she doesn't look like she eats too much. And yet she's always hungry. Now, this one time I told her, why do you have to pretend? Be yourself. If he likes you, he will like you the way you are. If you're hungry, eat. Because there's no one who has ever gained weight. She's a bit heavy. There's no one who has ever gained weight by not eating. I know we give it as an excuse, but always food, helps us gain or lose weight. So I told her, so be real. Now, this time round, she goes on a date and takes down that order. They asked her, what are you going to have? She said, I'll have the fish and I'll have that matoke. I'll have, or what we call green banana. I'll have posho, or what you call ugali for the Kenyans, or cornbread. I'll have cassava. I'll have sweet potatoes. Everything that you've got on the menu, I will have, except I'll have it with fish. So they served her and she sat and cleared the whole plate. And the man after that was disgusted. He waited for her to finish and met her outside and said, you know what, you need to lose weight. You are too heavy, you eat too much, and that should not be the case. And the woman was really, really hurt because for the first time she had become real. Because at the end of the day, when you take someone home, believe you me, real things come out. I start eating and, you know, I express myself because no one survives with no food. So everyone at the end of the day eats according to their appetites. But this man had set her off. And trust me, that was the end of their relationship. Why? Because the man, on pulling out the true colors, was not so impressed. I'll read some comments. Yeah, Roger says, good evening, everyone there. Yeah, good evening, Rogers. And there's someone who said a thumbs up. Thank you so much for tuning in. The topic of discussion is, how do you know he or she is the one? Now, there are telltale signs that this might be the one or this is not the one. And Shego Fatso says hi. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now we are talking about, how do you know he or she is the one? There is that also aspect of mutual respect and growth. That can be a sign that this person could be the one. They push you to be better without you changing who you are. That kind of person you can keep around. That mutual respect and growth. That person allows you to become who you truly can be and not force you to be who they want to be, but who you can become, the better you. That kind of person is good and you can know you need to keep around. Because the problem is when men are looking for partners, they look for body parts. We should be looking for a holistic person, one that matches, your likes, ticks off all those boxes, that person who hang around. For starters, we said that effortless compatibility. When you're around them, you're real. You feel comfortable to express yourself. I mean, if you feel like eating, eat. If you feel like sleeping after eating, sleep. But do you know there are some ladies who cannot even go out to the toilet, to the washrooms or toilets because they don't want the man to know that she actually uses those areas. But that's a foundation that is so wrong. You pretending, and so when you get into the relationship, reality will set in. And if this person is not ready for that real you, they are likely to break that relationship. So how do you know he or she is the one? One clear sign is when you are able to be yourself around them. If you can't, and always you have to pretend like you are this loaded guy, this man who has got all the money in the world, this lady that is always smiling, this lady that uh, is always put together, then that is not the right person. You need to be able to express and be yourself around this person. And also that mutual respect where that person allows you to grow. Well, you're not where you want to be, but allows you to get to that at your own pace. They push you to be better without you changing who you are. If you see any kind of person like that, guys, hold on to those. They could be the ones. Roger says, body parts, body parts. Wow. Yeah, that is what you guys look for. I mean, you say she's got work, and then you say she's got nice legs or, a nice. And then when I say body parts, I guess you understand me on those ones. And yet you should be able to look at this person who can help you, uplift you, who when you're around, you're comfortable. Normally those people that you are so drawn to because they've got those quote unquote body parts, those body parts do not define who they truly are. They could have the nice legs, they could have, the big busts like people go for, or the big hips or big bums, whatever it is that tickles your fancy. They could have them, but that does not guarantee that you have a good person at the end of the day. Quality marriages. Thank you so much for tuning in, Isaac and Kate. You're watching. Thank you. And I hope you can give your opinion on how you know that he or she is the one, because that is the topic of discussion. It's a live chat. Go ahead and drop in the comments your view on this. How do you know he or she is the one? Or how did you know that the one you're with is the one? Because, I mean, have you ever wondered if the person you're with is truly the one? If you've ever wondered, well, let us know. How did you know, or how did you cut those wonders of could she be the one or could he be the one? How did you get past that and actually settled with a person? Or if you're one who is looking to settle, how do you know that she is the one? Is the topic of discussion. So we said when there is effortless compatibility, when there is mutual respect, that is one way you can know that this person is the one. That person who respects you for who you are, not trying to change you to suit their likes, is normally that kind of person. They push you to be better without changing who you are. That person is the right one for you. And Lillian, it says it's a personal process involving so much things. Yes. Or you're saying so many things. Yes, it's a personal process of knowing, involving so many things. It is. But I want to know, for you, how did you know he or she was the one? It's a live chat. Let me know in the comments how you knew the one you've been with, or you were with, or you're going to be with. How do you know he or she is the one? Now, for me, this is my research. There's, like I said, mutual respect and growth, but also there is the way of handling conflict well. If that person fights, if fights don't break you apart, they will get you together. So if that person you've had conflicts with, but those conflicts did not break you but made you stronger or made you better, that person could be the one. How do you know? Because I mean, you've fought, and whatever has come up against you would have taken you out, but has kept you together. That would clearly tell you that this person could be the one for me. And so you hang in there. Quality Marriages says, you look amazing. Think, thank you for sharing with us. I hope you'll be blessed, and I'm waiting to hear your opinion on this one. We are saying, how do you know he or she is the one? So I need to hear your opinions. Guys, how did you know your partner was the one? Another one for me was her emotional security. If emotionally you feel connected to this person, you feel safe, you feel you're heard and loved unconditionally, chances are that is the right person you're supposed to be with. There's so many times we get ourselves into relationships. One thing I've learned about relationships is do not try and aim so high, because when you aim so high, You will always be on tippy toes trying to reach to this person, and you will get exhausted in doing that. But if you get someone again who is so beneath you, you're always bending, trying to reach them because they are so beneath you. Or you get someone who is at your level. This kind of person, this kind of level is good. You're not bending, you're not tippy toeing, but you're on the right level with this person. The same, you feel safe, you feel hard when you talk about something, when you're suggesting something, that person is hearing you. They are on the same footing with you. You feel loved unconditionally, whether you give them or you don't. You're not surprised they'll be packing and leaving. That kind of person you can keep. And Roger says, um, I have my friend. She can take like a week without saying hi to me. But when I gave her 25K, it can it can get me like 3 days consecutively. It's good you said she's a friend. Yeah. You said I have my friend, she can take like a week without saying hi to me. But when I give her like 25K, it can get me like 3 days consecutively. Now, that is not a friend, Rogers. That is really not a friend. It's like literally a friend that you pay for to get. Unless you give her money, she forgets about you. But when you give her, then when you don't give her money, she forgets about you for weeks. But then when you send her money, like 20,000, 25,000, then that's when she calls or texts or gets in touch 3 days consecutively. That kind of friend is not a real friend. A real friend should stick around through thick and thin, whether you send money or you don't. So you just know if you're looking at settling with her, she's a big mistake. She only likes you for the money that you send her. That day you will stop, you will see that she will stop, you know, getting in touch. So if you're looking for pointers on whether this person is the one, I think you need to run and don't invest in me more money. You're literally buying love. You might as well go to a breatho and pay for these ladies. They will give you 30 minutes of good time, 1 hour of good time. But if you're looking for a relationship, there are places we can go and people you can count on. This person can be there for you, whether you give them money or you don't, whether you have or you don't. I mean, I have a friend as well who is so close. I call her my own sister because she has been there for me. Sometimes she even just guesses that I need this and she sends without even me, telling her. It's like we are twin to the spirit or to the soul. This person just knows exactly what I need. And some she's not near, sometimes she's very far, but you can count on her all the time. Whether you tell her or you don't, somehow she just knows. So this person who loves you will be linked to you, will be, twin to you, and cannot do for weeks without talking to you. So that friend Rogers, I think, is not a good one. You can choose to hang in there and stay with her, but I don't think she is a nice one. And Lillian says, Roger, run far away from that one. Yeah, you can hear. And I'm waiting to hear from Quality Marriage. What do you think? Should Roger stick to this friend whom he sends 25,000 and then that person is on consecutively, or should he run away? Lillian says, Rogers, run far away. And Roger says, Lillian, I'm away from her. He says he's far away from her because he's not around. But if he comes around, that's when she sticks around. Now, I think, Rogers, that is very, very sad. You also know deep down that that person is not your friend. Unless you send money, that's when she gets in touch. No, no, no. That's not a good friend. A good friend should even check on you, see how you're doing, despite the money. Because we all have those ups and downs. There are those times we are so low, and there are those times we are so high. And there are those times when you are in between. But all through those times, you want someone to be there for you, so that if you're experiencing the highs of life, she's there to celebrate with you. And if it's the lows of life, she's still there or he is there. And if having a midway kind of thing, still they are there. So I think like Lillian ran away, and running is not good. I think it should be fly away so fast, because running they may catch up, but flying, fly very far away from that person. Now we were talking about how you can handle sorry, how do you know he or she is the one? And we said emotional security. You feel safe when you're with this person and you're suggesting something, you feel you are heard. This person hears you. Have you ever met this person and you tell them your dreams? I one day want to buy some land and get myself a home. And you start dreaming and you say, I would like to have a storied house on there. And this person is just there saying, yeah, that sounds nice. But it's possible. You can do it. And then starts giving you advice on how that can happen. That kind of person is a good one. And you can know that she is the one when you feel emotionally secure with them, and you're loved unconditionally, whether you've given money or you've not. I like to read what Quality Marriages says with Kate and Isaac. It says, I think Rogers, she wants security, financial security. She wants a provider for her husband. Probably she has a childhood trauma, scared of financial instability. There you have it from a quality marriage person. I bet you Isaac and Kate are married, and they are giving you their opinion that she's looking for a provider, security, financial security. Maybe she's had a financial trauma, childhood trauma, scared of financial instability. That could be true. So, Rogers, it's up to you whether you're going to be the security of this person, financially assuring her always that things will get better or things will be okay. I, for one, I would want someone who we can build a life together. I don't want to find someone who has already made it, because I know of people who have already made money. And when the woman comes in the picture, if at any slight mistake, the man is quick to say, out of the door, you came with nothing, you will leave with nothing. So leave my house. And it's so painful after you've invested in so many years. And this person shows you to the door, get out. Those kind of people normally tend not to, you know, treasure you. So quality marriage is saying she's looking for financial stability or security. Well, there you have it. I, for one, I would go for someone that we build a life together. Someone who will understand me whether I have money or not. Because I've seen people who have been in relationships where money wasn't a problem. And after some time, they've just left and gone off, because it's not only about the money. At the end of the day, you need this person who you can talk to about anything. In the lockdown, I'll tell you my story. In the lockdown, there were so many homes. Those of you who are in Uganda, by the way, this podcast is live. You go ahead and drop your comments, and it's live in Uganda. So in the lockdown time when we had too much of COVID, I know COVID is still going, but in the lockdown time, there were these couples that could not stand each other, because before the man was a provider, and then there we were locked down in our homes, no money coming in, no money, going out, because there was no money. Things were a bit tight. Now, some of these relationships got crumbled. Why? Because the men were not being looked at as providers. So, what counted was, or what kept people together, was the relationship they had built before all this happened. Because there was no one going to work. That means there was no money coming in. And unless you knew about the lockdown and had enough money with you, which was unlikely, people's relationships suffered. So if someone is looking for financial stability, that should be a good thing to consider, but not the main. Not the main, because at the end of the day, you can work and get money together. So that's my take on that one. Quality marriages, thank you so much. Now, I would say some of the red flags. What are some of the red flags that I'll bring an expert opinion? Yeah, doctors say, who are experts in research, of relationships, they say that strong couples have a high bid for connection. Strong couples have a high bid for connection. Success rates, meaning they respond positively to each other's needs and emotions. So we have to be able, that person has to be able to respond, yeah, positively towards your needs. You know, you want someone to talk to, that person should be there reading. Why is it only when 25,000 drops on the phone and then that's when the lines are open for you to call and say whatever you want to say? That kind of person is not the best. I don't think they are the best. And those experts also say that deep attraction isn't just chemistry, but a mix of dopamine, oxytocins, and long-term bonding. All those things have to come in play. Have you seen marriages? Those of you who are watching and you're married, you can maybe like quality marriages. You can let us know. Doesn't marriage get better and easier when you spend more time together, or when you've been married for a longer time, or is it easier when you've just gotten married? You can let us know, those of you who are watching and are married. And Lillian says quality marriage, Isaac and Kate. So what would happen when the husband cannot provide financially? That is for you, quality marriage. What can happen when the husband cannot provide financially? You can let us know what that would mean, because it would mean so many things on that on that one. Yeah, it can really mean anything. They are red flags. Yeah, quality marriage. They are asking Isaac and Kate, what would happen when the husband cannot provide financially? Does that mean the marriage is ruined, or the relationship comes to an end? Because those times are there. Like I said, in the lockdown, there was no one going to work. And if your income depended on you going out and hustling out there, you came home with nothing, and that means the marriage was going to fail because there was no money coming in. And quality marriages says people have different interests. Yes, but Lillian is asking, what would happen when the husband cannot provide financially? Would that mean the marriage ends? Does that mean you stop loving this particular person because they are not providing financially? That is what she wants clarity on. Yeah, you can explain and let us know, quality marriages. What you think? What you think would happen to a marriage? And Lillian says, in reference to Roger's friend, yes. Does that mean the husband? What would happen when the husband cannot provide financially? Now, as quality marriages responds, red flags that they might not be the one. There are also red flags that that person may not be the one. Oh my goodness, those are so many, and they're always flogged right in front of us. But we are so much in love. We want to believe they are the ones because, they look a certain way, they speak a certain way, they come from a certain background. So we want to believe they are the ones, and so we ignore them. Yeah. And Lillian says, see, she's only in touch when she receives money. Yeah, quality marriages, you can shed light on that one. In reference to Roger's friend, what would happen when the husband cannot provide financially? Maybe quality marriages could answer that one. Otherwise, the red flags that show that they might not be the ones. There is that constant doubt. Yeah, quality marriage has said some look for emotional support, others look for providers, depending on interests. It's a wide topic. Yes, it's a wide topic. So, what advice would you give Roger's quality marriage? Would you advise him to stick to that girlfriend who only calls when he sends 25,000, or would you, advise him to run? In other words, we just want to know your opinion. Do you want Rogers to run away from her? Would you advise second Lillian and me about him leaving, actually running? I recommended flying. Lillian said run away. And I said she can fly away because it's faster. That way you're off the ground and she doesn't even know how to catch up. And Lillian says still advise him to run away. I would say fly away very fast with the fastest jet. Fly away, Rogers. You don't need that person in your life because really they are as good as paid company. Unless you pay, she doesn't stick around. So I would say, run away from that person. Red flags that they might not be the one for you. That constant doubt. You're always doubting, will she stick around? Or, constant doubt and emotional instability. You always are worried they will leave. That kind of you need, remember we said how you know that person is the one. When there's that, you know, of effortless compatibility. You don't have to do much, but this person will hang around. That mutual respect and growth. They push you to be better, but without you changing who you are. That person creates a ground where you can feel safe. And that emotional security. Now, if there is no emotional security, that is a clear sign that person is not the one. I need to hear from other people what your opinion is. It's a live chat. Go ahead and drop in the comments what you think. What do you think is the sign that this person is the one or they are not the ones? Because there are so many, and I happen to come up with a few, but you can go ahead and let us know. How do you know this person is the one for me? I should stick around with this one, or I should get away from them. Like Rogers, we all say you run away, except we are waiting to hear from Quality Marriages. Would you advise that person to stick around, Rogers, or you advise him to run away as well? Otherwise, if there is that constant doubt that this person may leave or may not be there tomorrow, to me, that is a clear sign I've got to go, because they have not created a foundation that assures me that they will stick around tomorrow. When you're always doubting, I didn't buy this for them. I forgot the birthday. Will they be around tomorrow? Will they still love me? I forgot to take this for her. I forgot to give her the 25,000. Will she call me tomorrow? That is a clear sign. When you're in constant doubt and emotional instability, you don't feel safe. You don't feel steady. You're doing something with someone. You're running this race together. If that is not there, then to me, that's a clear sign you need to run. And that is not a good person to stick around with. And also another thing that shows you that this person is not the one, different goals, different life goals that don't align. You're talking about, sacrificing so that you can buy land. And this person is like, buy land for what? No, I don't need to buy land. I need to go out. I need to go on holiday. That kind of person is not really there for you with a permanent sense. They are looking to enjoy today and run off with the next, person that has got something going. So another sign when when you have different goals with that person, goals that don't align, that person is not the one for you. You may like it, you may like that person, you may want the relationship to last, you may want it to work out, but it's a clear sign that that person is not the one for you. And I remind you guys, it's a live podcast. Go ahead and drop in the comments what your opinion is. How do you know this person is the one? Or how do you know they are not? The red flags that, this one, no, I want it to work, but I feel they are not the one. How do you know the difference? Well, these are some of the reasons, but go ahead and drop in the comments your reasons or your signs that this person is the one or is not the one. There is also a lack of trust. I've seen people who do not trust each other. When you don't trust your partner, then they are probably not the one. Like I said, with this person, you need to feel safe. You need to feel like you're heard. You don't have, it's an effortless, kind of compatibility. You don't have to change yourself. You don't have to appear a certain way or work in a certain place for this person to love you. They love you anyway. So that is one clear sign that this person is the one for me, or this person is not, if you lack that. If there is the lack of trust, chances are that person is not the one. Because even when you get in a relationship with them, they will still doubt you are with them. They will still be always keeping you on your toes. Where have you gone? Who are you with? And then they come in that there comes in the whole beating, domestic violence, because you left without, telling them where you're going. Another aspect of this is the respect. If there is no respect, that person, chances are, does not love you and is not the one. Lillian says, I agree. Both of you should be on the same wavelength in order to especially on major life decisions. Yes, I know of this lady. The gentleman kept on saying, let us do this. Anytime he would suggest something, can we start up a business? Can you do, what can you do? Can we do this or that? And each time he would suggest anything to better their finances, this lady was not for. And to me, I just thought this lady is not in it for the long run. She was in it for the short run. Even when it comes to just buying saucepans, cups, plates, just to develop and grow their home, which was their home. She wasn't that kind of person investing to make sure that their home is better. So to me, there are those clear signs, but we choose not to see them. And quality marriages says there is communication in relationships. Both of you should be good communicators. Oh my goodness, that is deep. That is very deep. Both of you should be good communicators. In order to make your relationship work, quality marriages says both of you should be good communicators. So if she cannot communicate, that means she's not the one. I hope quality marriages can explain on that one. And then Namukombe Halima Navidye. We shall not vote you. We know you. This one says, we shall not vote you. We know you. Yes. And then Nate, welcome. You're welcome, Nate. Thank you so much for tuning in. And the topic of discussion today is, how do you know he or she is the one? How do you know the person that you're going out with is the one? There are red flags and there are, the green flags that give you a go ahead that what you're doing is right and whoever you're with is the right one. But how do you know any of those is? Well, that is what we are discussing. It's a live podcast. Go ahead, drop your comments. We'll read them as and when they drop in. And you can give your opinion on the topic of discussion. Yeah. Now, how do you know another red flag that this person is not the one? The respect. If that person does not respect you, especially in relationships, it is two-way. The man has got to respect the woman, and the woman has got to respect the man as the head of the house. The woman has got to respect the man. But if there is no respect, the man is saying, I'm the man of the house, and I'm saying, let us do this. And the woman is saying, you don't know anything. I've got this, and this is what I'm saying we should do. There is no that mutual respect. You don't respect me as a man. And even the woman being respected by the man is paramount. where you respect your wife. If she doesn't like something, you don't do it. I mean, it's like quality marriage says, it's two-way traffic. Yeah. If both of you have got to be good communicators, that means both of you have got to be putting into this relationship as well. And Lillian says mutual respect. Yes, mutual respect, the lack of it is a red flag that this person is not the one. If you do not respect me and I'm the husband, how can I say that you're the one I should marry? I think that is also a clear sign that this person is not the one. So it should be one of those virtues that we look at. If you're looking to settle, Rogers, you're looking to find someone, yeah, you need to uh, look into that. If someone respects you, values all that you hears you when you're saying something. I'm not saying hearing with all ears because everyone has ears and can hear, but that person hears what you said and is willing to work with you to get to that goal, is supportive. An example is when God was creating Adam and Eve. He made Eve from the rib, not from the feet that the man should step on her, not from the head that he should always try and, reach up to her, but he got her from the rib. A clear sign that they are supposed to be there as supporters. So whoever you get, whether you're a woman or a man, that person has got to be supportive of you. Uh, there are different, like I said, different perspectives on relationships, how you know that person is the one. But this particular one where we are talking on normal common ground, there's got to be mutual respect, like Lillian has said. Now we also have to remember that there is no perfect person, no perfect one. That perfect one does not exist. Relationships are so different. And Alan says, hello, I think it depends on what you're looking for. Some look for emotional connection, others trustworthiness, loves kids, family driven, a hard worker, etc. So if this is not there, then he or she is not. Yes. According to your, like there are actually quality marriages also said the same thing. It depends on what you're looking for. Quality marriage said the same thing. And Alan, thank you so much. Lydian says even disagreements should be handled with respect rather than anger and manipulation. Disagreements. So is that one of the red flags? I need to know. Is that one of the red flags that that person is the one? Or is that a green flag? Lillian says disagreements should be handled with respect rather than anger and or manipulation. Yeah. I need Lillian to shed more light on that one. Is that a red flag or a green flag that that person is the one, or is it not? But I agree with Alan. He says he thinks it depends on connection. Others look for trustworthiness. Uh, Others are looking for emotional connections. Others trustworthiness, love, kids, family driven, hard workers. So if this is not, then he or she is not the one. True, that is very true. Because I know of some men who are bent on having a woman who is willing to have a certain number of kids. And if you're not ready to have them, that man doesn't even, look twice your way. They need to know that if they get with you, you be able to give them those kids that they want so much. So that is very right. It has to be looking at many things. Now, quality marriages says selfishness. If someone is selfish, check and see, can you handle? If not, then think twice. Oh my goodness. Yeah, very true. If a person is selfish and they are willing to keep that way, you need to think twice. But the thing is, when we are in love, we are a bit we are lenient. We tend to be compromising. We seem very understanding. You just paint the picture the way you want it to go. The man doesn't, compromise. Doesn't, like you'd say, you tell this person, today I don't have money, so we cannot go out, and this girl is throwing all the tantrums. If that girl is not ready, to budge and be like, you know what, if you don't have, I've got some. We shall go out somewhere cheap. We don't have even to spend money. We can just take a walk to the beach. I know there are people who say those kind of people are not there anymore, but they are still there. There are those who love for the long run, and there are those who love for the short run. But there are those who truly will stick around. So, like Kate has said, if that person is selfish, you need to gauge and see, can you handle? Yeah. If not, then think twice, because if you meet this person, this girl who wants shoes, you either buy for her shoes or she's out. You need to be ready for such a commitment because you saw that from get go. If you can't keep up, then you drop it. But to me, at the end of the day, someone who makes me be what I'm not, you know, anytime you're pretending to be who you're not. In the lockdown, there were people, I keep on referring to the lockdown because that's what we have just had recently in the past years. In the lockdown, there were those people who had been married but have never spent. Many relationships in Africa are based, they are more sexual than, emotional, more emotionally invested. You meet, and the next thing you're in bed, and that's as far as it goes. Then he leaves you with some money and goes off. But then when the lockdown happened, if it found you when you had just come to visit and the president said, today no more moving from one place to another, you all stay where you were. Oh my goodness, people stayed with people they've never lived with, and things were not easy. You don't know how to communicate to this person. All you know is the bedroom affair. And so these other things could not work. So that also crumbled many relationships. It has to be that to some degree, this person you can relate with freely. Communication, like Quality Marriage said, is key. It has to be you're a good communicator, and that person is as well. So that's also one of those things that we need to put into consideration. It's a live podcast, guys. Go ahead, drop in the comments what you think is a clear sign or a green light for she is the one or he is the one, or the red flag that he's not the one and she is not the one and you should run. We have to also remember that love isn't about finding a perfect person. It is not only finding a perfect person, yeah, but choosing someone to build a life with, because those two are different. Someone can be perfect, and actually, when you're seen together, you seem like you've got everything together. But when actually that person is horrible, is inconsiderate, is a big spender, is disrespectful, there are no mutual values with this person, and they're just basically wrong. But because you want the relationship to work, guess what? You bear with this person, you bear with all the crap they have to give. That is not good. And another thing that I wrote down is growth and commitment matter more than just destiny. This person, you have to be able to see yourself growing with them. You have, for starters, to be able to see that I can grow with this person. We can both make this work. We can start a life together. If that is not in the picture anywhere, that person is not the one. Now, how do you really know if they are the ones? I need to hear other opinions from other people, because there are so many ways you can know, from experts who have said that people who are that experts have said strong couples have a high bid for connection. They really strive to make sure that they are connecting. It is very key for them. And as long as they have that connection, they can make things work. And have you ever been with these people who have been together for some time and they get to a point where they look and even start looking the same? They seem like their brother and sister. They seem to have the same opinions. Why? They've connected on a deeper level. But also time has had a play in all that. Experts say that successful relationships respond positively to each other's needs and emotions. I mean, the moment I get to love you, I realize you need this, I buy it. Did many men don't know? Rogers, you can tell us, and Alan, or Quality Marriages, or Lydian, or Raghu, whether there are many ladies that buy things for their men. It is most of the time unheard of because, especially in the African culture or African setting, that ladies just know how to receive. We just receive. We don't spend on our men. So they end up always pouring out themselves to give. They are always giving, always, you know, I buy food, I buy clothes, I pay rent, I pay the bills, always and always giving. And Quality Marriages says honesty is key in a relationship. So yeah, that is actually one sign you can know that this is a right person. If that person is, you can trust, they are honest. They don't lie. You ask them, where were you at this time? I was not yet at home, but I was here. When they are not lying. Lies are one of those red flags. If this person is constantly lying to you, promises I'll take you out, promises I'm coming tomorrow, promises, you know, I'll do this and the other. If they are not truthful, if they are not trustworthy, those ones as well, just see and run before the wave catches up on you, uh, and the relationship is gone. Now, I also ask, is it fate or effortless or something else that people find each other? Is it by fate or is it some effortless thing or something else that causes people to find the right person? There are people that have had, there's a lady that I knew who had gotten to that level when she wanted to get married. And so a friend of hers tells her, you go to a bar and, just buy a drink and sit there. Some man will come because men always do. So just dress up right and go to the bar. And while there, just sit. Someone will come. And when they come, you can start from there getting a man for yourself. And she was like, I've never drunk and I don't drink. How am I supposed to go to a bar and find that person? Because she had failed to find men somewhere else. So the friend was advising her to go to the bar, and that way she could find the right person. I would think also the kind of place that you find this person. Sometimes these places are signs that these people are not the ones. You find her on the streets, selling herself, and you think you'll change her to an honest woman. Well, you may be acting out, pretty woman, but I need to hear your opinion, guys. It's a live chat. Do you think that kind of relationship would work when you find someone on the street and take them home, hoping to change them to, better people? Whether it's a man or a woman, you find them, the kind of places that we find these people. Does it count? Is it one of those flags that this one is green and this one is red, as in you can take them home and make a relationship work? Or those should be red flags that you don't meet people for marriage or relationship, serious relationship in such places? I need to hear your opinions on that one. Otherwise, I'll emphasize it again that doctors say, experts in relationships, they say that deep attraction isn't just chemistry. who agrees with me on that one, that deep attraction isn't just chemistry. I mean, some of us believe that you've got to see them and then you feel these butterflies in your stomach, and that is how you know that person is the one. And if that doesn't happen, then probably they are not the ones. I need to hear from you. Experts say that deep attraction isn't just chemistry, but a mix of dopamine. Is it true that it's a mix of dopamine, oxytocin, and long term bonding, or is it, you know, something else? I need to hear from you. It's a live podcast. Go ahead and drop in the comments. How do you know she's the one? Is it deep chemistry? Is it, love at first sight? Because there are those who have made relationships work with love at first sight. How do you know he or she is the one? I need to hear from someone else and get to know what your opinion is on this one. Otherwise, deep friendship shared and values and emotions. And emotional security is one of those things that assures you that this is the right person. Deep friendship shared. I mean, it gets to that place where this person you've been with becomes your friend and you can literally talk to them about anything. And if you've not got to that level yet, I think you should take your time settling. And or if you've already made a commitment, you need to check yourself. If you cannot have deep conversations, that deep beyond, I need to look right when I'm talking, I need to, sit right, I need to appear perfect all the time. If you've not gotten past that and you can have deep talks where this person opens up to you and they can easily tell you just about anything, even the day they went without food at home. If you're not yet on that level and you don't see that happening with this person, you feel each time you're with them, you need to be lying. You see, I was born rich, I've never known poverty. You see, we come from this kind of royal family, and you have to make up stories. At some point, you get confused even of the things that you've said, and then the words will catch up with you. I think if you are at that place where you can have deep friendship with this person, if there is deep friendship shared, that person could be the one. I'm not saying you get involved with your friends, but you should also look into that kind of relationship. If you feel free with this person, you feel you can just be yourself. You can tell them about anything and not feel embarrassed or ashamed or judged. Then you should check into that person. She could be your green light and could be the one. And I wanted to read. Okay, that is not new. Those are all old comments. But also values and emotional security. If you share the same values, like Alan said, if you share the same values, Roger says today, Mama, I'm off topic. But you're the one who suggested this topic. So I need to hear from you. What is your opinion? How do you know that this person is the one? You're the one who suggested it. I need to hear your opinion. How did you know the ones you've been with are the ones, or the one you're with now is the one, or the one you're hoping to be with is the one? I need to hear from you, Rogers. Let me know the green lights to you of a person being the one. Otherwise, for me, I would say it's a deep friendship, shared and values, and emotional security. But when we talk about values, to you, there are some things that are very important, and this person shares the same. You, like Alan said, you love kids, you love that sense of family and belonging, and this person does feel the same. You like animals, and this person does feel the same. That kind of person is also one that you look into because you have the same values. If you're into animals and this person hates them, you could also think twice about your lights. This could not be the one, because we should be accommodative of each other. And if your goals are to probably one day own a farm, and this woman is like, farmland is not the one for me, then that's your clear sign that she is probably not the one. And Lillian says, I think it takes time to trust and open up to everyone, to be able to feel that's comfortable to discuss difficult topics. It does take time, and you're so right. But again, there are people. Have you ever met people who started talking to you about themselves even without you asking? Why? I mean, it has happened to me very many times when I've met total strangers that have just opened up and started telling me, like there's this gentleman who told me, I'm done with this woman. I mean, he was a border man. Guys, those of you are not from Uganda, borders are motorcyclists who take ferry people from one place to another at a fee. So I got on one, and this gentleman starts telling me that he's done with his woman. And he said, I've had 2 kids with her, but she had 4 before me that she never told me about. But me, I've got about 6 of them or 8, because he said in between there's a set of twins that he counts as one, because they are twins. They came in one package. So instead of saying 8 kids, he says he's got 6, because the other one was one set, one child. So they were they were twins, but he counts them as one. So he says, I've got 8 children, but 6 is what I would say, because they never count a man's children in Africa. That's what he said. But in their blended relationship, the woman was not one working towards saving of money. So all the time the man would get money and say, let me give you this money, you keep it so that we can buy a new mattress. The man or the woman would just get that money and use it to do other things, until it got to a place where he thought he had saved enough money to buy a camera, because he said he loves taking pictures. And when he opened his piggy bank, which was made out of wood, he found there was no money, and he was so disappointed. And he said, what kind of woman is she? She knew my dream was to become a photographer, because if I became a photographer, I would have better money. I already have the motorcycle that would take me places. So what I need is a camera, and I would be able to move around and make money easily. That way we would get to our goals easily. But because they didn't have the same values, yeah, the same goals, the man was disappointed, and that was marking the end of their relationship. So you can see, if you find this person that is supportive, you're talking about building, a company, and this person is like, yeah, it is possible. Actually, goes ahead and advises how that can happen, or what she will do or he will do to make that come to pass. That person is a clear green flag that they are the ones. And yeah, and emotional security. Like I said before, emotional security is paramount. You need to feel safe around this person. They love you, whether you have or you don't have. Rogers, you said you've been off topic. I hope you can come back and be in sync with the topic today, because you suggested it. Otherwise, emotional security is very key. You need to feel safe with this person. You need to know that they'll be there through thick and thin. They will love you anyway, whether you have or you don't have, whether you're sick or you're not. That is a green light about a person. If you know they'll always stick around, it's a green light that you can count on this person. So you can go ahead and have a relationship with them. Now, red flags, there are so many. Like I said, also there is the controlling behavior. When this person is so controlling, I mean, how much of that can you handle? We are all human beings. I can handle you being controlling for a week or, you know, for a day, but you cannot be controlling all my life. You decide the hair I will have, the places I'll go to, the people I'll talk to. That is a red flag. I need to run away from you because you are not secure in yourself. So you want to make me feel insecure as well. And you want me to, you know, uh, start doubting myself. Anytime I'm going somewhere, I need to let you know and I need to be on guard, on time. It gets a bit straining on a relationship. So for me, that would be a red flag. That person is not supposed to be in my life. And emotional unavailability. Like Rogers, you said there's this person, your friend, that unless you send 20,000 shillings, they are unavailable 3 weeks on. But if you send 25,000, then this person is available at least 3 days consecutively. That kind of person is not one that you can count on. Unavailability emotionally, I need you to talk. I need to talk to you about something and you're not there. I need you to support me on this. You're not one of those people who are supportive. You're always putting me down. You're telling me how I don't look the best and how I don't have what is trending. Those things that put another person down. I cannot count on you for anything. There is someone I know who someone complimented and said, "Wow, you look amazing. You're rocking that hair. You look cool." And a friend came in and said, "Well, they are just lying. Don't believe them." Oh my goodness. I told this person when I had this that you better run away from them. Disconnect because those people are not for you. They are pretending to be friends, but actually, she is not a friend and you should stay away from her. She's bad blood. And that is what I would say about a person who is always emotionally unavailable. You want them for support and they are not there. They are just breaking you down and beating you down, wanting you to be less than. Those are not good friends to keep. And constantly doubting the relationship. If you're constantly doubting, it is that is the expert opinion. You should run. You're constantly doubting, will we stick together? Will we still be together? Even if I don't buy this, will we still, will she still love me even if I don't have teeth? There are different things that we are insecure about. If there is constant doubt, that person is not the one. Love that lasted versus love that faded. There's a story of a couple who knew and met when they were young and built a relationship fast and grew together despite life challenges. They met when they were young and they built a life together. Their secret was communication and shared vision. That is the only thing they constantly talk about. That what has kept us together was communication. Like Quality Marriages said, it's communication. It is very key. You have to both be good communicators because if you don't tell me how you feel, probably you'll never know how I do feel as well. You don't tell me I'm the one, I will never know, and so I may not show you that I'm the one. Rogers says, I think the person is the one who can understand you whether you are poor or rich. Rogers, you want to say you are poor? Yeah, that is very right. That person has got to be understanding. Whether you have money, like Rogers, I believe you're not poor, you are rich. At least, if not in real life, in Jesus' name, you are rich. And guess what? That person who loves you will love you regardless of what you have. But the problem is when we have, it's not easy to hide it. When you are rich, word goes round like wildfire. Everyone gets to know you've got money, and guess what? They want in on that. So they are their best behavior. They are more accommodative, more receptive, more accepting. simply because they already have a clue as to how your wallet stands or your bank account is. So, yeah, Rogers is saying that one rep person is the one who understands you whether you are poor or rich. That is true. But like Lillian said, money is not the only thing that makes a person be the right one. I could love you when you have no money. Haven't you seen relationships, especially men? Rogers, you have to explain on this one. Men, when you don't have money, you're very humble, you're very nice, very romantic, very accepting, very loving. But once the money increases, then you start dismissing, your partner. You treat them like trash. They don't count anymore. And yet they've been with you through thick and thin. So, Rogers, you can explain on that one. Why does it normally happen to you guys? Why do you change when the money comes? Is it because now your platter has become wider and so your choices are many? You can have anyone, and that way you don't really care that much about the one who's stuck with you. I need to know why men change when their money wallets deepen or their pockets deepen or their bank accounts deepen. And Roger says, because money is devil. Is that why men change? Because I've always wondered, why do men change when the money is there? When they are when you don't have money, you are very okay. Very, very okay. But the moment you have money and you can afford just about anything, this poor woman that was stuck with you when you are trying to negotiate corners, negotiate lunch, you know, skip breakfasts so you can have dinners. I don't know why you change and forget these women. And Rogers says the world becomes their oyster when money becomes available. Oh my goodness, tell me about that. I've observed it, I've seen relationships go down the drain simply because the man got money. He starts being dismissive, and there's a man that I was told he had a wife, not a wife. They were in a relationship with another lady, with a lady, and it was a struggling one. There was no money, but then after some time, the man happened to land into some good luck and fortune, and he got the money. Then he started getting other ladies home and telling the lady that you do not deserve or you cannot fit in the money that I've got now. You need to be with someone else and leave this place. You don't suit me. You're so beneath me. And so the lady left. When she left, she happened to land in someone's hands who got hold of her and helped her revamp herself and come back more powerful and better than before. And what the man said was, when he saw her, word went around that your wife, your lady came back, the one you abandoned, and she's looking amazing. You should check her out. So when this man happened to meet her, he said, now you deserve your money, your home. You can come back to your home. After he had put in riffraffs for the time the money had come. Now, when the woman revamped herself, some good person handled her and showed her, how she can better herself. She came back in style. This time round, the man was like, "Now you can come back to your house, because you deserve your home." I don't understand that about men. And the lady was like, "Now you cannot have any of this without, coughing some serious money." She had become a money maker. And the man was coughing money every single time he wanted to be with her. But again, you wonder what had become to the relationship. It's one person giving up on it and it becoming wasted. Lillian says the world becomes their oyster when money becomes available. Yes, Lillian is right on that one. They have a wide choice, and so they do anything and they just start on anything. That is so wrong. And Roger says, but mom, there is a kind of person which I can never change, whether you have money or not, like I am. Every time, Rogers, you say something, I first laugh. Do you know why? Because if a person is to know that a person doesn't change when money comes or when it goes, you don't have to say it even. It is obvious you are a constant factor. So continue assuring those ladies, but first drop the one who you give 25,000 and keeps on texting. If they don't keep that constant, then also you jump away. You seem like a good person, a good man. You run away and start your own thing, and you see good things coming your way. And quality marriage says some people give up easily. They are runners and think they run, they end the relationship. She says some people give up easily. They are runners and think they run, they end the relationship. Lillian says, Rogers, that's the kind of woman you deserve. I don't know which kind of woman Lillian is talking about. Lillian, I need to know what kind of woman you're talking about that Roger deserves. And quality marriage says some people give up easily. Yes, there are some people who give up easily on relationships. The moment there is a lady who I was told she one time asked, she works in town, does hair, ladies' hair. And so when there's a tendency of us ladies when we are working and there's money flowing in and out, there's a tendency of us not to be um, humble, or we have high stakes. We want a certain lifestyle and expectations are different. So this man gets interested in one of the ladies that works at the hair salon and goes to visit. He comes to visit with milk. In Uganda, we have milk that is sold in plastic bags, and you buy a cup and they pour it in a plastic bag and tie it and give you to take home. So this gentleman happens to tell the lady, I'm coming over to see you, and you'll see me, I'll be in a silver car. So the woman was all excited. Also, this man that is interested in me has a car. Oh, this is amazing. So she was expecting big things. And yet the man had borrowed it or was going to borrow it for the time that he was going to come and visit. And the man bought also some bread, a small loaf of bread. In Uganda, we have those small breads that go for 2,000. So he bought one and took it to her. He never knew that the lady had a child and was living with her. So when he was calling in to book a meetup, the lady said, oh, you can come to my house. So the man said, okay, you just direct me. And he came with that milk, 1 cup of milk and a small loaf of bread of 2,000. And because men like to show off a lot, this gentleman told her, uh, where are you? The woman directed and he came home, got out of the car, but left the milk and bread in the car and came in the house. Later, after sitting for some time, he told the lady that you can go to the car and get the things that I got for you. And the woman was expectant because, I mean, there must be many things. If the man could not carry them himself, but rather waited until he gets in the house and then tells me to go and get things from the car, he must have brought, quite some amount of things. And so she told her daughter to go with her and get things from the car. Oh, let's go. They were all excited, only to get to the car and find a cup of milk and a small loaf of bread. Other people would say that is a good thing because He was thoughtful. He didn't come bare-handed. But the lady bashed the man with big words. How could you waste my time sending me to your car just to pick bread, a small loaf of bread and a cup of milk? You couldn't carry those yourself. You local man, get out of my house. And the man was embarrassed and sent out. Remember, he had borrowed the car to just come and impress. So there are things that we can do that over emphasize who we are when we are actually not. Now, if a man happens to land in money for some reason, you get money, just keep it on the down low. Let this woman fall in love with you before the money, so that at the end of the day, you can establish whether she is the right one or she's not. And for us ladies, let us also not be only after the money, that unless the man comes flashing cash and things, we won't even give them audience. I think that is selfish. It's bad. I'll read comments from you guys. Lillian says the woman who does not change whether money is there or not. Yeah, Rogers, there you have it. They've already suggested the kind of woman that you need, one who is there whether you have money or you don't, because that kind of person you can trust. And quality marriage, it says, um, they don't have the time to work on their relationships. They don't have people, they don't know people, learn from each other and grow together. Willing students, willing teacher. Oh, that is nice. Yeah, that is very true. It's so easy to see another person's relationship on the outside and admire, but you're not willing to put in the effort to make it become like the one that you wish you had. So that is very true. And Roger says, but Lydian, there is that kind of a woman. Lydian, assure Rogers, is that kind of woman there? One who loves whether there is money or there is not. Because Rogers always constantly says that he has no money. It has to be clear. There is no money in the picture. Is there any woman who can stand that kind of man? I'm also waiting to hear from Alan, see what he's saying, or Ragul about those kind of women existing. And Lillian says, yes, they are there. And Rogers, Lillian assures you they are there. She knows them and probably she will suggest someone at the end for you, Rogers. Just hang in there. You are in the right place. You'll be surprised. That woman is there. You just have to inbox and let us know your preference, and we look around for that one who is not after money, but is there whether there is no money or there is money. But nobody, money makes life better. Let's be honest on this one. It makes life easier. So work harder and make sure it's there. But Lillian has said, yes, they are there. It is hard though. A relationship without money, it goes through a lot. A lot. And for it to stand, Rogers, you have to work hard. There's got to be some sort of money from your end and her end, and together you create a beautiful thing. Yeah, but they are there. But there are many things that make a relationship also. Remember, we've dealt with those ones. But we are still on the topic. How do you know he or she is the one? Guys, drop in your comments. Let us hear your opinions as well. How do you know she is the one or he is the one? And the red flags, how do you know he or she is not the one? Uh, a relationship that seemed perfect but wasn't. A couple with an amazing chemistry but completely different life goals. Those ones are also there. And Rogers says, I am working hard, Mama. Don't worry. anytime. Yeah, it would turn out good for you. Just hang in there, my brother. I was saying a relationship that seemed perfect but wasn't a couple. An example is a couple with an amazing chemistry but completely different life goals. Over time, their dreams pulled them to get apart, proving that love alone isn't enough. Yeah? Remember, they had amazing chemistry but completely different life goals. I mean, you can have that chemistry that, works outside all things, but life goals can tear you apart over time. And this is so true because you want to go back to school. He says, let us just go and live together. Before you know it, uh, he's up to no good, nothing, and you want to follow your dreams. That relationship can end. Lillian says, if a woman stays around when there is no money, I'm sure she will definitely be around when the money is available, abundant. Rogers, you heard that. That if a woman stays around when there is no money, she is very positive that woman would definitely stick around when money is available and slash or abundant. But I don't know about men. It's the men who change. Rarely do women, change when the money is there. It is unless actually us women as well we change when it is you who is the breadwinner now and the man ceases to be the breadwinner. That is when us women change. I think it is not in us to take care of homes or and be the ones to be the breadwinners. So that's when we change. So like I was working and I happen to be promoted at work and I'm getting more money now. That is when ladies change as well because it's two-way, guys. Let us be honest. And Roger says, Brother Isaac, Auntie bw'otomuwa taddamu kubuuza kati ng'owasa ogw'omusege. Brother Isaac, you heard that from Quality Marriage. That was meant for you, that if you don't give them money and then they stop being good, does that mean you go and settle with such a loser? Would you just settle with anything or anyone, even when you don't give them and they have changed? He's asking. A reality check for you, Isaac. Sorry, for you, Rogers, and anyone else that is listening in. There is no perfect one, just the right one. That is one thing I can say. There is no perfect one. Every one of us has got shortfalls. Even those that look so perfect, those who are glammed up, there is no one who is perfect. We all have shortfalls, but there is a right one for everyone. We are like missing pieces of a puzzle. We just have to find each other. That person that complements you to a degree, that person that understands you, that person that is willing to stick around with you, that person uh, that would ideally be not understood. So there is no perfect one, but the right person. That right person will fill in the dots, will fill in the gap, will fit you perfectly. So that's what we should go for and stop looking for the Miss Perfect. It's amazing how we leave the 85% of our partners and we go for the 15. It is very sad. And Rogers is saying now, Mama, what can we do? What can we do? Now, Rogers, this is what I can say. Just to sum it all up. Like I said, there's no perfect one, but there's a right one. For everyone, there's a right person. Even when you see yourself not measuring up, there's a right person for you. But I'll read a comment from Quality Marriages. Men are providers. Genda okole omwana kw'abandi oleme okumuteeka mu kikemo okwegomba. Yes. Now, Rogers Isaac says, go and work, my brother, and keep someone's daughter out of temptation all the time wanting for money. So that's what he can say to you. But this is what I can say as well, that there is no perfect person, but the right person. So if you find the one who lacks the 15 but has got the 85%, go ahead and try that person. And you'll be surprised. We are not all perfect, but there is leaving the 85 and going for the 15. That is such a big mistake, because you go for the 15 and drop the 85, you'll be likely making a wrong move, because 85 is still better than 15. There are things that we go after in a relationship that don't really count. At the end of the day, you can see that you don't sleep with money, you do not relate with money, you relate with a person. So if you find that person that completes you on any account or count, go ahead and try it with that person. And Quality Marriage says, Rogers, help me with that math. 25K a week, break it down for me according to needs of females. Yeah, break it down for him, Rogers. You give 25K a week compared to the needs of females, then that would be not substantial. In other words, what Isaac is saying, 25,000 is small money. You need to give more. But again, someone who is understanding would appreciate the 25,000 and would still be like, my man has got me covered. So it has to be that right person. Not the perfect, but the right person. Because once you find that person, they will appreciate you for anything. Whether you give big or whether you give small, they will love you. They will appreciate you. They will continue to commit to you. I've seen there is a gentleman who had a girlfriend, and it seemed like the girlfriend was so much after money. The girl uh, would demand, get a car, get this, and the man was trying. He got a car, and once he got the car, she started looking at those who had better cars. Nothing seemed enough. So if you find someone who is unsettled, who is always demanding, I don't believe in one-way kind of relationship, but two-way traffic kind of relationship, where if I manage to work, I buy you a shirt just like you buy me shoes. You pay the bills, you pay for water, I pay for power. You pay for rent, I pay the school kids' fees. You know, something that way the weight is balanced. You know, like on a scale, you put meat this side and the stone this side, and the scale will balance. But each time it's tipping over, chances are things may spill and get out of, of order. And Rogers says to Quality Marriage, Brother Isaac, era ndi mu kukola mbula essaawa 3 ngenda ku mulimu. Here is 24 minutes to 1 a.m. Oh my goodness. Rogers surely is working so hard, Isaac. He's working hard to make sure that he gets that money that these ladies need. I just hope he doesn't spend it on the wrong ones, because then you need to stop sending that 25,000 every week, every after some time, to buy those phone calls. You keep it real, keep your money, and wait until you find that person who checks up on you, and you'll be surprised how good it feels. And Lillian says, but why would Rogers invest in someone who only communicates when she gets his money? That's a question for you, quality marriage. Why should Rogers invest in someone who only communicates when she gets his money? It's wrong on all counts. It is wrong, Rogers. I also don't support it. I know you want to work, but for your good. Work to see that you can provide for yourself a better life. I believe in you empowering yourself, bettering yourself before you sell yourself out there. Because, money can always attract all sorts of people, all kinds of women, even those you've never dreamt of hanging around with. You get your money, they will come. But again, you have to be prepared. Is it the kind of girl? There's a way we think that when you're a man and you've made money, there's a certain kind of woman that you should keep around you who looks the part. That is where you go wrong. You need to find one who you truly care about, who cares about you, regardless of the money. That means it's better to find that person before the money comes. See if she can go with you through thick and thin. And if she does, reward her when that money comes. So, Rogers, my advice would be drop the one of 25K per every 3 weeks and find yourself someone who you don't send anything. But just talk, you know, just feel comfortable around. And when you're doing a relationship, try and start one where there is no money. I know that is hard to believe, but try one where there is no money. Lillian says, I advise you to save your money. And once settled with money, you will find the right one. Don't waste your money on spenders. You have it there from Lillian. Don't waste your money on spenders. Yeah, like quality marriage says, save your money. Sorry, work hard so that that girl that you find does not have to suffer and live wishfully. I agree with Isaac, work. But again, don't invest it on these 20K spenders who constantly want money. Unless you give them money, they don't talk. Like Lillian has said, keep your money and you will find the right person. Don't waste your money on spenders. That is the advice from great people, quality marriages, and Lillian. I don't know where others are and who is listening. And Lillian says, thank you, Lillian. I think you two should exchange contacts and see who can help the other. What do you think, Roger? And Lillian, what do you both think? I don't know whether Lillian, you're single or Rogers. And Lillian says, Rogers, you work very hard for your money. That is very true. By the way, people, I mean, if Rogers, you're going to go on a shift in 3 hours, you are working really hard. Don't just blow your money on useless spenders like Lillian has said. Save it. The problem is men can't have money and keep it to themselves. They've got to show it off somehow. That's your weakness. I think that's God given. You just have to, spend it on us ladies. We sit back. There's a gentleman I was talking to, and he said that I was asking about different cultures, wondering why some ladies of certain kind of cultures not invested so much in school or education. And the man told me that the ladies from their country always wait for the men who have worked, they order for them, and they just take them. So once a man finds you or asks for your hand in marriage, your life is set. You don't have to worry about life anymore. So school to them is not important. And as for the guys go out, they study, and up to a certain level, then they apply to go abroad and start working so that he can be in position to order for these females. And that's their culture. That's their way. So some places, the right one is determined by their ability to provide, like, quality marriage is suggesting. And Lillian is saying, I would rather Rogers bought a piece of land. Invest your money, Rogers. Wow, Rogers, you've had it. Invest your money. I would say you buy bonds, and I would say you buy treasuries, bills, or unit trusts. That is also one of those. If you're not home, like you said, you're not home, you can try buying unit trusts or bonds or treasury bills, uh, or buy invest in shares, because that you can do online. You just check on about it and then do that online, and you'll be surprised how much money you save. By the time you choose to come back, you have your money speaking for you, and the rest will be history. And Rogers is saying, Lillian, I'm learning. Oh, it is good that you're learning. Well, there are so many ways we can know we are with the right people or with the wrong people. I hope someone is being helped today. Uh, if you're on those crossroads of deciding who should I go for or who shouldn't I go for. And so we ask ourselves, what is the right sign? Or sorry, what is the biggest sign that the person is the one or is not the right one? I need to hear from you guys. There is 35 of us I can see from here who are watching, and I want to know from all of us. This is a live podcast. Go ahead and drop your comments and let us know what is the biggest sign for you that someone is the right person. What is that biggest sign? Quality marriages. And quality marriages says we have to know the duties of everyone in the relationship. Women play your part and men play their part. It can be vice versa. Yeah, and that is so true. Thank you, quality marriages, for that. And I think that is something we can all take. I mean, quality marriages is talking about marriages being of quality. So this guy is talking about, or this guy and this lady know what they are talking about. They've been married, and that's why they are having that channel of quality marriage with Isaac and Kate. Thank you so much for a good job, Isaac and Kate, what you're doing with marriages and the advice you're giving people. You said we have to know the duties of everyone in a relationship. Women play their part, and women play their part, and men play their part. It can be vice versa. And Rasami, I'm from India. You can speak English? Oh my goodness. Yes, I can speak English. That's what we are using. Rasami, yeah, I'm from Uganda and we can speak English in Uganda. Most people can speak English in Uganda, in case you're wondering. So, Rasami, thank you so much. And back to our topic, we are talking about how do you know he or she is the one? So you go ahead and also share, Rasami. How does it happen in India? How do you know this is the right person that you should marry in India? Yeah, Rasami, let us know how you know culturally or the way you do it in India. How do you know this is the right person for me to go out with or to marry in India? Or how do you know the red flags that this is not it and I should actually stay away from them? Let us know, Rasami from India, how you know that is the right person for you or that is the wrong person for you in India. Uh-huh. Otherwise, the African perspective for us, we look at the community and the longevity. You look at the community where is this woman coming from? Who are her parents? That is what we look at. And Rogers is saying, Rasami, alabika muyaye awulira oyogera Luganda. Ah, Rasami, let us know, share with us how things are done in India. Yeah. How you know this is the right person, or the red flags. Rasami, you want to know what that means? He said he doesn't understand. You hear me speaking Luganda. Are you still wondering where I'm from? That's what he wanted to know. That, are you sure you don't know where I come from? That is what he was wondering about, because you're hearing me reading some other language. So he was wondering, are you sure you don't know where I'm coming from? That is what he was asking. But I want to know also from you, how are things done in India? How do you know she's the one? How do families connect? In Africa, we marriages or relationships are communal based. We look at way back. Where do you come from? If you're looking to marry a girl in Uganda, you go digging, you find out who are her people, where is she from, where are they from, what do they have. It's more of a community kind of setting. But I'm also aware that in the Eastern perspective, families are uh, family and compatibility. In Asian culture, this is what I think, that marriage is seen as a union of families, not just individuals. So I need you, Rasami, to shed light on that one. Is it true that marriage is a union of families, or is it something that we have heard but is actually not true? You can shed light on that one and let us know. And I've also found out that arranged marriages thrived. They found love. Those arranged marriages where they find for you a wife, or they find for you a husband. You don't know each other from Adam, but then you meet for the very first time. And yet that marriage works because of shared values. You start realizing, okay, this is our culture, this is our setting, this is what is dear to our parents. So that marriage works. And you learn to be patient with your partner, and you grow together. And so that marriage or relationship lasts. So I need to know from those of you who are not Ugandans who are tuning in, and how is it that you know this is the right person for me, or this is not the right person for me? Let us know in the comments. It's a live chat, and we'll be able to read your comment and know that other opinions from other people. So go ahead and drop in the comments. We'll read your comments. Otherwise, I'm saying that there is no perfect person, but the right person for everyone. I may not be perfect, but I may be the right one for someone. Every one of us has got someone they are right for. Even when you don't think much of yourself, because we are all fearfully and wonderfully made, guess what happens? There's a right person for all of us. We just have to find them. The thing is, we aim sometimes so high, and you try to reach, and each time you're aiming so high, you're bound to make a mistake, because, or you're bound to get tired, because each time I raise my hand so high, I get tired of reaching out. But if I again get someone who is so beneath me, I get tired of bending, because I'm getting someone who is not up to my level. But if I get someone who is up to my level, then we can make a beautiful thing, because then there's no strain. I'm not bending, I'm not tippy toeing to try and reach this person, but I'm actually, standing at same length and feeling comfortable. So when we are looking for people, we should, be truthful with ourselves. Don't go looking for perfect, but go looking for the right person. Because once you do that, chances are you will find the right person. And I want to know from those of you who have been watching, what is the biggest sign that you have that someone is the right person? I just need to know, what is that biggest sign that this person is the right person? I can give different experiences. Some people, there's a gentleman who said that for him, how he knew that his wife was the one was, he is very careless. he misplaces things like crazy. But then he meets this lady who is good at keeping. You can give her. He tried it by giving her. Uh, there's something he said. He gave her a seashell and asked her to keep it. And it meant nothing to him. But he gave it to her and asked her to keep it. And after like about 3 weeks, the woman still had the seashell. And after 3 months, the woman still had it. Until one day he found she had engraved it and put it around her breast, her wrist. That is when the man knew this one is a keeper. And since I'm a messy person, I lose things. This must be the one. And guess what? Their relationship worked, basing on just him finding where he falls short, and this lady was thriving. Quality marriages says when you're compatible, you understand each. I think she meant when you're compatible, you understand each other. That is so true. Very true. When you're compatible, you understand each other. I encourage those of you who are watching to drop in the comments. Let us know your opinion. What is the biggest sign that you see that's and know that that person is the right person? That biggest sign for you that ticks all the boxes off, and she or he is the one. We need to hear. I need to hear from you. Have you ever thought someone was the one, but later realized they weren't? Has that thing happened to you? Rogers, you can tell us. Rasami, you can tell us. Have you ever thought that that person was the one and then found out later that you were wrong? They were not. So if that has happened to you, go ahead and share that experience. Let us hear from you and together do life. By the way, guys, this channel, we do lives every Friday at 9:40, and go ahead and mark the date and tune in. If you're not yet subscribed, if you've enjoyed our chat, we handle different topics. Like today, we will conclude by you saying which topic you'd want to be handled for next Friday, and that's the one we'll be discussing on Friday. And once you've mentioned it, we'll be dealing with that on Friday. It's every Friday, 9:40. So go ahead right now and let me know in the comments whether you've ever thought someone was the right one, but later realized they weren't. Let me know if that has ever happened to you. You thought this person was the right one, but then you're like, I think I made a mistake. She wasn't, or he wasn't. If that has happened to you, go ahead and drop in the comments and let us know what it is that you saw and thought they were the ones, and then it turned out that they were not. Or you thought they were not the ones and later found out they surely were. Like I've seen movies where there are these couples who are so compatible. They are friends. They finish each other's sentences. They like spending time together, but are seeking out for relationships somewhere else. The last person they are looking at is each other, and yet it's so obvious to us who are watching that those two belong together. And it's later that maybe like time has passed, years have gone, that they realize it, and they're like, why did we not see this in the first place? So it could be that obvious. You thought she was the one or he was the one, but then it turned out that they were not, or you found out that the one you thought wasn't the one is the one. So share your experience. Let us know what it is that worked for you. And Rasami says in India it's 2:30 a.m. Yes, Rasami, thank you for telling us about the time. But now also you tell us, have you ever thought someone was the right one for you? Later on you realized they were not. Or what are the signs that he or she is the right partner? Rasami, I need to hear from you and get to know your opinion on this one. Plus anyone that is tuned in, Go ahead, drop in the comments. It's a live chat. Let us know whether that has ever happened to you where you thought someone was the right one and then they ended up not being. There are so many reasons a person could be the one, and there are so many reasons they are not, or they turned out to be. And Rasami says, yes, I have a boyfriend. Oh, Rasami, that is good for you. So how did you know that that boyfriend was the one for you? Was it through arranged marriage, or um, was it someone you saw and fell for, having proved that they were the one? Let us know, Rasami. In Uganda, you wanted to know what time it is because you said in India it's 2:30. In Uganda, let me find out our time. It is 11:59. It's about to be midnight. In case you're wondering, you said in India it's 2:30. In Uganda it's 11:59. It's actually midnight now. It's 12 a.m. So that is our time in Uganda, Rasami. And I wanted to know, how did you know that that boyfriend was the right one for you? Was it through arranged marriage? Because different cultures do their things differently. And for us here, you are free to choose that partner. Families can step in if you're not able to, but it's not a must. You can choose the person that you like and choose to make it work, or, lose it. Rasami says, yes, he's the one. I think because he cares for me, loves me, he buys me gifts, he respects me, he respects my parents, he's so handsome. I love him so much. Congratulations, Rasami, on finding a good man. She that finds a good man finds favor before God. It is not a common thing to find someone who loves you, who cares for you, and buys you gifts and respects you. So for her, that is her gauge. If a person respects her parents and is handsome and loves and cares for her, buys for her gifts, respects her, that's it. And those are the things that we look for. As long as we know and remember that we don't only receive, but also should be willing to give it back. If he loves you, he cares for you, you need to care for him as well. And you need to also gift him some things. If you happen to have money, I know it's not in so many cultures acceptable that a lady buys for a gentleman something, but you can go ahead and also gift him because he respects you, he buys you those things, and your respects your parents, and I also believe you're very beautiful and he loves you so much. That is good and very touching. So Rogers, we have some live examples of people who are having it and making it work. Thank you so much, Rasami, for sharing your love experience. And oh, you're welcome, dear. That is good to find love. It is very, very good. And once you know he's the one, he's the one. There's nothing. I've seen people who have tried to go against what society has said. If, like you think that person is the right one, but again, you hear people saying, no, they are not. If you found a good thing, stick on to it. I mean, hold tight to it. Don't let it go. It's not, very common that you find such good people or people who treat you right. So you find one who treats you right. I know of a lady who said recently, and she called some gentleman and said, I wish you could have me back. I regret having taken you for granted. Because while they were in a relationship, she thought the world was her oyster. She could have just about anyone. So she was not treating this gentleman very well. She was disrespectful, she was demanding and unappreciative. Right now, things are flipped up on her and she's regretting, wishing things could go back the way they were and turn back that clock to where things were okay and you were still in love and crazy about her, but things have changed. So once you have a good thing, hang in there, hold on tight. It's not very common that people find each other. So if you have found each other, go ahead, guys, and share. What is your biggest sign that someone is the one? For Asami, he cares, gifts, and respects her parents and respects her. So, someone else out there who is watching, let us know. How do you know that biggest sign for you that someone is the right one, or that biggest sign that that person is not the right one for you? Remember, there is no perfect person, but the right person. Every one of us has got a right person out there. He may not be the biggest, the tallest, the shortest, the smallest, the richest, but everyone has got a right one out there. But how do you know who the right one is? That is the question for today. And because we are tuned in, I need to know from you. It's a live podcast. Let me know how you know that that person is the right one, or have you ever thought that person was the right one and later realized they were not? Let me know how that went and who your experiences on that one. Otherwise, there are so many points that we have covered, and I'm hoping also those who are tuning in can drop in comments and let us know what are the signs, the red flags that this is the one or this one shouldn't be. And also you can drop in the comments and let us know what topic you would want to be discussed next Friday. Yeah. Let me know what topic you would want to be covered next Friday. This one was suggested by Rogers, and Rogers, thank you so much for the topic for today. There is normally a number in the comments or in the description that is always listed there where you can, suggest a topic, or you can drop in the comments right below and just let us know what you would want to be discussed for next Friday, and we will discuss it. And those of you who are dropping by for the very first time, like Rasami, Rogers, anyone who is there who has been quality marriage, Lydian, quality marriage says, that person is the right one when they fit your goals. That sounds sweet. The kind of person once meets your goals. Yeah. Maybe quality marriage can explain, how does a person meet your goals? Do you mean that she's the one facilitating you and making sure, like I've heard there are men who say they married well. You marry a loaded woman, a woman who has already made her money. That way, if you had a dream of having your own business, she meets that need and gets you that personal business. What is it that you're talking about? I need to hear from you, quality marriage. Are you saying that we should have a person because you say that person is the right one when they fit your goals? The kind of person wants to meet your goals. Explain on that one. Elucidate a bit. Let's hear. How do you know? What do you mean by a person meeting your needs, your goals? Is it you want to become a teacher and that person is the one facilitating you and you become one? Or you want to be a wife and this person is proposing. What is it that you mean by saying that person, uh, they fit your, oh, you say they fit your goals. So your goal is to be what? Okay, you explain. You say, let's say if you want a housewife, and you meet one with the qualities of a housewife, then you are the one. Oh my goodness, that is sweet. That is very sweet. Oh yeah, that is very true. It is finding that person. I want to be, I want to have a big family, and you meet this man who has the same dreams. I want to have a, a big and steady home, and you meet this man who is family oriented. Yeah, now I understand you. That is one way, that biggest sign that someone is right for that for you, and that is from quality marriages. Thank you so much. That's a good one. And what is? Have you ever thought someone was right? Also, that is still a question on table, but later realize they weren't. We all make those mistakes where you think, she must be the one, since she's got this and this and the other, and then only to find out she's got them fine, but really they don't add anything to the table, and so you just abandon her and get someone else that doesn't probably have, or has but not as much, but meets the other needs. I need to hear from you guys. We've been on for 2 hours, guys. You've been amazing. I need to know who is watching and where you're watching in from. It's a live podcast, and if you like what you're watching, go ahead and hit that like button and drop in the comments. I've got two channels. I've got one for digesting the Bible. This one is for reading the Bible on a daily basis. If you're one who is interested in reading by the Bible and understanding it on a small scale, go ahead and subscribe. You'll be able to get notification of videos as and when they drop in. And you will also be able to see in the archives what else goes on this channel. But I've also got another channel. It's called Plates and Places with Winfred. It's got so much on the plate. You will see places, building sites. It's got food, easy food meals at home that you can make if you're a lady or if you're a gentleman and you just want to better your dining or your cooking. Go ahead and subscribe. You'll enjoy it as well. Otherwise, back to our topic, we are talking about how do you know he or she is the one? And what is the biggest sign that she is the one, or the biggest red sign that he's not the one? That is the topic for today that we are discussing. Rogers and Lydian, I need to hear from you. Otherwise, we've handled so many um, many topics, many areas, and there are key signs and there are those that are not. Key signs, you know that that person is the one that we already talked about, is they might be the ones when it's effort, there's that effortless compatibility. You're just compatible. You don't have to work so hard to impress this person, but this person feels at home with you. Sorry, guys, about my sound. My mic had run out. And thank you, Lillian, for alerting me on the sound. My mic runs for only about 2 hours, and we've been in here for about 2 hours already. So that's why my sound had gone off. I need to know if it's back and if you can hear me, because mm, okay. And Lillian says the topic has been well explored. Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much for all the comments. I saw comments from Lillian. And Lillian, you said the sound is back. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, subscribers. Those of you who are subscribed to the channel, you are amazing. And I need to know what topic you would want us to discuss next Friday. I need to hear from you. Quality marriage. What topic would you want us to discuss come Friday next week? From you, Lydian, from you, Rogers, from you, Rasami, Raghu from India as well. Thank you so much, Rogers. You have been a good sport, guys. You've been there from the very beginning, and I need to know which topic you'd want us to handle next Friday, because we are here every Friday and the topics of discussion are always agreed upon before we close off. So let me know what topic you would want us to address next Friday, and we will be at it, and we'll be right here next Friday discussing the same. This one was suggested by Rogers, and so I need to hear a topic from you guys that we'll be handling next Friday. And I think it will be nearing Easter, so I need to know what topic you would want us to handle. Go ahead as we think about concluding our topic of discussion today. Those of you who have commented, thank you so much, guys. Those of you who have participated with comments, you are amazing. And I encourage you to do the same next Friday. You made it interesting, and thank you, Rasami, for sharing your experience and your love with us. Quality marriages, you are amazing. Thank you for the beautiful comments. Rogers, I'm indebted. Lillian, you are amazing. And Alan, thank you so much. You're something else. You guys have kept us here the whole time. Thank you so much. I just need to know if you have any other opinion about the topic of discussion today. Otherwise, topic for next week. Yes, like Lillian has said, what is the topic for next week? I need to hear from you guys. You suggest, and then we run it across and see which one we can work with for next Friday. Same time, 9:40, and that is when we are live. So go on and write in the comments what topics you'd want us to discuss. I'm waiting for that. Otherwise, if you still have an opinion on what are the signs that this person is the one or he's not, go ahead and drop in the comments. I'll still read. We have a few more minutes before we sign off. So I'm waiting for your feedback on the topic of discussion for next Saturday. Otherwise, there's for takeaway. Takeaway on the expert side. The one is the person who makes your life better, not just in the good times, but in the challenges too. Now, that is what experts say, that the right person, or the one is the person who makes your life better, not just in good times, but also in challenges too. That is the expert opinion about who the one is. And Lillian says the topic: do holidays like Easter highlight relationship strengths or weaknesses? Oh my goodness, that sounds nice. You guys can go ahead and still drop in other comments. We can compare and see which one sounds hot for Easter. But this one so far seems suiting because Easter is round the corner. So let me know which other topics do you think we should handle. Lilian has said, do holidays like Easter. I'm trying to write it down so that I do not forget it. Do holidays like Easter highlight relationship strengths or weaknesses? That's a hot one. Mm. You guys can go ahead and drop in your comments as well. Do holidays like Easter highlight the strength of relationships? Or weaknesses? Or weaknesses? Now, there is another one from Alan. Do external parties affect relationships? Oh, that's a good one. Any other comment? Guys, at the end of the day, we can do a poll and decide on which topic we can go for. Lillian has said, do holidays like Easter highlight relationship strength or weaknesses? Because Easter is coming up, that sounds really nice. And Alan has said, do external parties affect relationships? Any other topic that we can consider? Guys, go ahead and drop it before we choose to close off. Otherwise, those are proposed topics of discussion for next Friday. And Lillian says, Alan, I like that one. Do external parties affect relationships? They are both good topics for next week. Guys, you bring your proposals as well for next week that you'd want us to discuss on this podcast. Every Friday, we do a live podcast, and the time to run is 9:40 to any time that is suiting or when our numbers drop. You guys have been amazing. If you happen to like what you've just been on the podcast, go ahead and tick the like button. And I will be encouraged that this one was a good one suggested by Rogers. Rogers, go ahead. You can still suggest a topic for next week or quality marriages. You can go ahead and suggest a topic for next week, or Rasami, or um, Ragu. Go ahead, guys, and drop in the comments before we sign off which topic you'd want us to discuss for next week, Friday, and we will be able to air that one on Friday. Otherwise, you are amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much, subscribers. You are a great sport. You've made these 2 hours worth sitting in for. And normally we do different things. We talk about life. life throws at you so many things. So we handle anything about life. You can talk about relationships, you can talk about leadership, you can talk about finances, and so many other aspects of life. So life is really broad. You can talk about anything, but anything that is interesting, that would easily cause your Saturday or Friday to go easily, is what we talk about. We don't want boring topics, but interesting ones. Alan and Lillian, you have done it and you've suggested, and I think Rogers is shying away from a topic this week. And I'm waiting from quality marriages. Kate and Isaac and Kate. What topics would you like to be discussed come next Friday? Go ahead, drop it down, and we will consider it for next Friday. Otherwise, you are a great sport. I'm about to sign off because it looks like we've exhausted our topic, and we seem to settle with these two topics. I'll give it about another 4 minutes. If no one has dropped a comment, I'll consider that these two are the ones that will be looked into. And that is all we have for our Friday live. I'm waiting to hear which ones you've suggested and which one is good for Friday next week. If the 2 minutes lapse, guys, we will call it we'll wrap it up off on this one, and those will be our topics of discussion. What we'll look at for next time. Thank you so much, guys. I see your numbers still going up and going down, but you're not saying anything. That's why I am wrapping up. Lillian says, or maybe you now have topics for the next week. I do have some topics that we'll discuss, but I wanted to give you an opportunity as well to suggest the ones that you would want, to be discussed. So those are the ones we'll discuss first before my already aligned topics. So you feel free to drop in the comments anything that you'd want us to talk about, as long as it's censored. That would be good. Any topic. Yeah, I already have. Yeah, those are the two topics for the next week, 2 weeks. We could pick one, and that suits Easter time, the season that is coming up, and then we could use Alan's for the week after, if these are the only topics. And now our numbers are dropping. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for subscribing. And you've been a great sport. Until next time, when we make yet another video on Friday, I want to sign off. I need to, unless you have something to drop on a quick one, I'll be signing off. I'm waiting. Otherwise, anytime now, I'll be signing off. I'm signing off. Bye bye, guys. Vivian says, thank you so much. You've been a star. You've been amazing. Thank you as well. And everyone else that has participated. Have a blessed night.